Happy Friday, everybody, and welcome back to another Motion.io live stream. This week, got a really fun one for you, and we are going to be recapping everything that we released to Motion.io in the month of August. August was an especially huge month for us. It's literally like I counted and went down the list of our changelog, nearly 3 dozen different features and improvements that we've released. And that's just like the high level stuff. There's a bunch of stuff in our changelog and our release notes, very small things like smaller bug fixes, smaller improvements that don't even make the list because it's just small tweaks here and there. But if you count all of those up, it's like 50 plus things that we've done to the platform over the past month and some really, really powerful new features. So as folks are filing in here, if you are new, joining us for the first time, my name is Sam Chalbowski. I am one of the co-founders of Motion.io. Do these live streams every single week at this same time, 10:30 a.m. every Friday out here in Denver. It's a pretty gray day outside, actually, but it's okay because we're rocking and rolling and fall is on the way. So as we go through the different things that I'll be sharing throughout this webinar, please feel free to write in with your comments, your questions. I love it getting questions in live from all of the folks that are watching these. It's a really great opportunity to just be able to answer any questions you might have about our product, about our platform. Even if it's something that's super specific to you, I'm happy to answer it, respond to it live. So with that, I'll just put a quick comment in here just so you can all see it. Just put in, hey, everyone. But if you want to chime in, tell me where you're watching from today, maybe what you're up to this weekend, maybe some insights about how you're using Motion.io. Feel free, comment away. I love reading them. I love popping things up in the screen and answering questions live. So with that, let's go ahead. And what I'm going to do here is let's take a look at our Motion.io release notes for this past month. Normally what you'll see me do on these live streams is I will often go to our changelog here, where this shows updates of what we've released every week. We update this once a week. But then once a month, what I do is I take everything we've released here and I kind of condense it all into like one smaller not smaller, but one more expanded blog post that narrows in on like the best features we released over the month. And the way that you get to that is if you go to our blog here, you'll see, sweet, our August 2025 release notes. So to kick things off here, we can go ahead and I'm going to walk through some of these things. And I see that we have Franklin watching from Houston on his son's account. Apparently it says your boy Franklin. That is so funny. That's awesome. I've definitely joined a couple of live streams with like either my wife's account or a friend who was like logged in on a computer I was using. So totally understand that, but that's funny. Kids, man, kids. So cool. Let's go ahead. Let me scroll down the list here and let's check out some of the things that we released throughout the month. So one of the big new updates is our calendar view for tasks. This is something we're really excited about. Basically, what you can do with this new view is instead of just being able to view things as a list, you can now see it in calendar view. Talk more about this as well as everything else I'll walk through here in just a couple minutes. But I will be showing off this feature today. We also have our new AI stage builder. This is a really cool feature because what it allows you to do is generate stages for your projects, for your templates on the fly, instead of needing to worry about creating an entire project all at once, because we do have an AI project builder as well. But this AI stage builder allows you to do things in a little bit more of a targeted way, if you will. And I'll show you how to use that in just a second. We also have custom signing order for contracts. This is a feature heavily requested by our users. Previously, you had to require clients to sign first. Now we've updated this so you can set the signing order for contracts however you would like in our platform. We'll also be talking a lot about our project progress tracker. If you're new to this feature, basically it is a Domino's pizza style tracker, if you will, that allows your clients to see exactly how their project is progressing. We've made a ton of improvements to this month. I'll be breaking down every single one of them, but here is just a little preview of what this looks like. Also going to be talking about some additional things, new options for automations in Motion.io and ways you can easily import tasks into a project based on other variables. So for example, if a client selects a new service, pull that into Motion.io. You can trigger things based on forms. And one of the coolest parts about the adjustments we've made to automations is when you import a stage via automation, any other sort of dependent things that you have going on with those tasks that you're importing, those will pull over too. And I'll talk more about this, some ways you can use it. We also have a number of other smaller updates here, new recurring tasks options, a new on-hold project status, faster and more reliable CSV imports, and then a couple of other things I will be talking about here today. So with that, let's go ahead and kick things off. First, I will pause. Does anybody have questions about some of the features that I covered, that I walked through, what we're covering today? Is there anything you'd like me to cover first? I have my own list, but if there is something that really stood out to you from what I just went over, please feel free, chime in, and I will jump ahead in the list that I have planned. So, sweet. Gonna take a sip of coffee. And the list that I've built, I'm actually going to go backwards. So I'm going to start at the things that we released at the beginning of August and work up to today, essentially. And this is the first thing that I'll cover is our improved CSV imports. And I see that we have a comment here of a feature we'd like to learn about first. Excited to hear about the on-hold project status. And then I'll just say Franklin for now. I know it's your son's account. And then a comment about that your team was very excited to see the calendar view. So let's go ahead and I'm going to skip ahead in the list that I have built here. And let's talk first then about the new on-hold project status. So with the way that Motion.io works, we have different project statuses. There is active projects, there are draft projects, completed projects, and archived. And that's what it was before. What we kept hearing from our customers is that, hey, it would be really, really nice if there was a way to put a project on hold. Sometimes there's certain things out of our team's control. For example, maybe a client goes on vacation. Maybe they're just not able to invest resources into the project at the moment, but they'll be circling back. And it would be helpful if we had a way to put a project on hold, so to speak, to pause notifications on that until the client was ready to re-engage. So to show you this, I'm going to pop into my Motion.io account. And let's go ahead and take a look. So in your Motion.io projects dashboard, there is a really useful bulk action that you can select. You can set a project to on hold manually if you just want to do it one by one by going to the project. So I have this digital advertising project. If I wanted to put it on hold, I could set the status here to on hold. But I can also do this in bulk if there's a number of projects that I have to put on hold. I don't know why that might happen, but just to show you the bulk action is available. What you can do is select some projects in your dashboard and then set their status all at once to on hold. This can also be really useful because we have these features here or these filters here in the project's dashboard. And you could actually see all at once, oh, I'm going to filter by the on hold status, and I can very quickly see all of my projects that are on hold. And then if I wanted to reactivate some of them, what I could do is use another bulk action to set their status to active. What that would do when I activated a project again is it would restart any reminders that were in progress, notification emails to the client. But while a project is on hold, the big benefit there is that Motion.io will stop notifying your client about that. So you don't have to worry about blowing up their inbox when they've already said, hey, this project is on hold. Really don't need notifications about this. Stop clogging up my inbox. Great. Now we have a super duper simple way to do that. So that covers one of the things I was going to talk about, which was the on hold project status. If you have additional questions about that, please feel free to chime in. Happy to answer anything else you might want to know. I also see we have a question that has come in here from Greg. Yes, the Domino's Pizza Tracker. I'm looking for motion to provide reporting maybe every week to clients. Are there any reporting tools, and will it include the Domino's Pizza Tracker? And we call it the project progress tracker. But the closest thing, and I will be straight up, the inspiration for that was the famous Domino's Pizza Tracker. Actually, an interesting sidebar about that. I was when I was still in college, I had an internship at Crispin Porter and McGusky, which is an advertising firm, and they actually have an office here in the Boulder sort of Front Range area. And that agency was actually, I didn't design it. I was just an intern there, a lowly little intern. But that agency was actually the one who designed the original Domino's Pizza Tracker. And they would get free pizza for life. But then when we were doing the last business, which was an agency called Brighter Vision, we had always wanted something like this. And the name is just stuck internally. Can't call it officially the Pizza Tracker because of, trademarks and that kind of stuff. But yeah, so let's go ahead, Greg, and let's show you around the Domino's Pizza Tracker, or it's not the Domino's Pizza Tracker, the Project Progress Tracker. Look, I'm doing it now too, because we do have some ways to share that very easily now in motion.io. I also see we have a comment from Dion. Oh, sweet. Y'all are in the Front Range. I go back and forth between Dallas and Glenwood Springs. Oh, that is awesome. Glenwood Springs is a beautiful area. Actually, my co-founder, Zach, he was actually out there earlier this summer for a vacation. Glenwood Springs, yeah, beautiful. Beautiful drive, too, through the canyon with the train, the river. Yeah, it's awesome. Very cool that you're in the greater Colorado area as well. So with that, let's go ahead and dive into Greg's question. And I'm going to show off our redesigned project progress tracker. So to do this, let me go ahead, pop back into my motion.io account, and we're going to talk all about our project progress tracker. So within every one of your motion.io projects, what you will see is that every project has a project progress tracker associated with it. At the top of your project's dashboard, you're going to be able to see the exact version that your clients can. And that means that if you have archived anything from a project, or if you've chosen not to show it. So for example, let me take this website wireframe stage, and I'm going to actually hide it from the tracker here. You'll see that because I have chosen to hide this website wireframe stage, doesn't appear in the tracker. If I do then choose to show it again, sweet, it appears. So this project progress tracker in your admin view, it's going to show you exactly what your client sees. That said, if you do, just to give you a very quick example of what this looks like on the client's end, I'm going to pop open one of my client's portals here. And just give me a second to open it. And then on the tasks page, great, you can see this is the client's view of the project progress tracker. And what the client can actually do with this is, with these updates we've made, we felt that, and we heard some feedback that it was a little bit too general. Previously, with our old version of the tracker, you would just see the stage, onboarding, website wireframe, campaign launch, but it wouldn't give granular insights into the individual tasks within a stage. So now what will happen is that once a stage is activated, a client will be able to see all of those individual tasks until every one of them are complete. So let's just say, for the sake of example, that, I know that there's a couple of incomplete tasks in here, but let me show you what this looks like. I'm going to quickly complete these tasks on the back end and show you how the tracker updates. So I completed all of the tasks in this stage, and now this website wireframe stage is going to become active. So what you'll see is that now that all of these tasks are completed, we hide the individual tasks once they are completed because it's on to the next stage, and then the client can see in this website wireframe stage, great, there's a task for our team to design their wireframe. There's a task for them to leave feedback, which is not yet active. And they can kind of go through these different tasks. Another reason why I wanted to show you the client view is one of the other things that we've added this month, another highly requested thing or a highly requested piece of functionality from our users is the ability for clients to subscribe to Progress Tracker updates. And they can now easily do that just by clicking this subscribe to updates. And what this is going to do is it will automatically send the client notifications about stages in that project, about tasks that are being completed. This functionality to subscribe to Progress Tracker updates is going to be especially useful if you have a person on the project. Maybe it's a manager, maybe it's an executive, maybe it's whoever you might be working with that isn't actively involved in the project, meaning they're not the ones that tasks are assigned to, but they still want to receive updates about this. So to answer Greg's question, circle all the way back around, this is going to be one of the first ways and probably the easiest way to get people updates. And then it doesn't even have to be a weekly cadence. You could add any of your clients to this portal. They could subscribe to the updates, receive updates about how the project was progressing, and do so in a very easy and streamlined way. And I see we have a couple of other questions here. Let me just read through them quick. Oh, and Greg, you used to go to Boulder a lot. That's awesome. Yeah, so yeah, it sounds like yeah, you either were or are in the area still. I love Boulder. I went to the reason why I'm actually in Colorado now is I moved out here to go to the University of Colorado. So I graduated from there 2015. Oh gosh, 10 years ago, feeling old already. But yeah, I moved out to Boulder to go to school and basically just never left. I was originally from central Pennsylvania, out in kind of the middle of nowhere by Penn State. So really love it out here. No plans of leaving anytime in the future. So I see we have a couple of other questions here. We have a question from Franklin. Regarding the progress tracker, will there be any updates showing the completion rate of a project for the client dashboard? Example, 75% of tasks completed rather than 22 out of 100. That's a good idea, Franklin. I'm going to share that with our team. I will make a note of that. We don't have any updates for that planned at the moment, but I can naturally see why you would want things displayed in percentage rather than sort of overall like number of tasks in a stage. I work with, when I'm doing our marketing analytics and things like that, I really rely closely on percentages a lot, just because I think it's more indicative of like overall, hey, where this is at, or where, the metrics, whatever you're trying to report on, showing those in a better way that's more easily digestible. So I'll make sure to log that for the team. And then Greg wrote in a comment, love the subscribe. C-level execs sometimes just need a simple report in their mailbox every Monday morning. So I was looking for that functionality by chance. So yes, and I will. So we have the subscribe option. And then I was going to pop back into my motion.io account again here, because we do have a additional option here to share project progress tracker updates. And that's what I'll talk about now here, Greg. So to do this, we have just added this functionality in motion.io where you are able to quickly click a button and create a copy of the project progress tracker updates. So the way that you do this, and let me go to a project that will be a little bit more sort of illustrative of what you would be able to share. So you can go in any one of your projects here in Motion and In that project, click copy as text next to the project progress tracker, and it's going to give you really just a lay of the land of how that project has been going. So as we scroll down here, you see this is our project progress for Larry's Laundry marketing services work that we're doing for him. And then it breaks down by stages. So a green check mark means that stage is complete. And then this black check mark is indicating the individual tasks in that stage that have been completed. So as you scroll down here, though, you see that there is a clock next to this website launch phase. That means it is in progress. And then there is a final stage here with a little note and a pencil, and that's indicating a draft stage. So there's no tasks active or ready to be completed in there. So with this ability to copy the project progress tracker, you could very easily just paste this into an email as is, copy the text to the clipboard, paste it elsewhere. But what you can also do is, like, if you don't love this formatting, or there's a better way that it would be, that you'd like to display this data, you could also use something like ChatGPT to paste this into maybe an additional workflow you have. I know with my own ChatGPT account that I use here internally, I have agents set up where basically I have structured them in a way so they know, hey, this data is coming in. I use this to update our changelog every week. Our development team will often send me just like a list of features, and I take that, and it's always the same format. I paste it into my ChatGPT agent, and they restructure it the way, or the ChatGPT agent restructures it the exact way that I want that organized. So that's something that you can do with this if you don't like the format as is. I personally find that this format works really well, just because it's very straightforward to understand. Okay, this is a completed stage. These are the tasks in it, and can kind of just go down the list. So this makes it really quick and easy to share that. I would love to know, Greg, does this work for you? And I see that, yeah, you're saying cool. Because this new functionality was something that we had requests for exactly the reason it sounds like you're describing, where you want to share something with your C-suite or with the C-suite that you're working with. You just need it to be super short, exec summary style, if you will, to let them know how things are progressing without getting too into the weeds, or maybe you don't even necessarily want to invite them to the project. So now this functionality allows you to do so in just a couple of seconds. And then we have a couple other questions. I'll pop those up on screen. Greg says, sweet, if I could automate project progress tracker via API, I could run it through AI GPT and email the client if that's possible, or put it on the roadmap. So we don't have a public API at the moment, Greg. We do have a pretty robust Zapier integration, but even with that, I don't believe that it would enable you to automatically copy those updates. I can totally see why you would, though. I'll make sure to take a note of your comment. Make sure we get a feature request logged for you there. Along those lines, too, we've had a couple of these things come up during these live streams. If there is some functionality that you're interested in learning more about, like what's possible, please feel free to chime in, just like Greg did, just like a couple of other folks did. And we will, I pay attention to every single one of these requests that come in, and I do formally log them after I get off the air here. So feel free to mention other things that you might like to see in Motion.io, and I'll tell you, hey, either this exists already, or if they don't, which is, usually about, I find like 80% of the things that people will ask me, hey, does this exist in Motion? 80% of the time I'm like, oh yeah, actually, we've already thought about that. It's in the platform. The other 20%, feel free, let me know, and I will go ahead and log that for our team. We have a comment from Evangelos. You just popped up in my feed and never heard of Motion. Looks like an interesting tool. Well, hey, thank you so much for tuning in. And if you are new to our platform, what we are is a customer onboarding platform that allows you to automate collection of client information, streamline communication, automate the steps of your project workflows in one simple platform. On the back end, you get a powerful suite of like project reporting tools and ways to manage your projects. On the front end, your clients get a really clean, easy to use portal. So just to give you kind of the basics of our platform of Angelos. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. Really happy to have you with us for this one. I want to go back, circle around to a couple of other comments. Dion had a comment from earlier. I would love to train my network of virtual assistants on this. Absolutely. And I am happy to coordinate directly with you on that. Feel free, and anybody here in the audience today, send me an email at sam@motion.io if you have questions or want to connect with me directly. I love being able to continue the chat after we have this discussion live. It's kind of one-way because I'm the only one with my face on the camera talking in real time. But if you do have questions, things you want to share, I would love to be able to connect. My email is just sam@motion.io, and I'm happy to help however I can, Dion, to train your network of virtual assistants on this. And I'm just going through here, making sure we answered all of the comments that have come in thus far. And I think we've gotten to mostly everything. Greg says, ooh, Zapier. I have been using Zapier for just about 10 years now. We were a very early subscriber at the last business, and there's a ton you can do with it. The benefit of it is if you aren't as technical, in a public API can be a little bit more challenging to work with. We will be releasing one. It is on the roadmap at some point, not anytime in the near future, but it is something on our minds. But until then, we've found that with Zapier, we're able to do and integrate with like 98% of the tools that folks send us. So it's been useful in that front. But yeah. And then Greg also shared, awesome reporting was a big thing for me. I'll sign up for a trial and see if it works for me. Love that. Yeah. And if anybody new is watching this and you haven't signed up for a trial, you can go ahead and do so at app.motion.io/register. Our free trial is totally free for 14 days. No credit card, no shenanigans like that. You can just sign up, enter an email, try us out for 14 days. And then if you need a little bit more time, Greg or anybody else watching this, also happy to have you email me directly. I can extend it, give you a couple of additional days. We have a comment from Franklin that's come in. Can Zapier help with forms? Like, can the data be pulled and linked to a spreadsheet? Yes, absolutely. This is a Zapier workflow I have set up a number of times before. Actually, if it's helpful, I can just show you this really quick. I think I should have a good Zapier workflow for this set up already that I can just quickly show you how this would work on the fly. I love these kind of questions. I love doing this kind of stuff live, even though there will be times where you might have to bear with me a little bit to get things right. But I do love showing stuff like this off live. And it's why I don't pre-record these things. I like to be able to have questions come in and respond to them in real time. So let's do just that. So cool. Jumping in, I'm going to pan over to my Zapier account because I did see that follow-up that it would be helpful to see this. So what I'm going to do here to get this Zap going, we're going to be creating a Zapier workflow that takes a form from motion.io, sends that data over to a spreadsheet. So first things first, I'm going to select motion.io's form submission trigger. And one cool thing about this is that you can use this trigger and it will apply now to both forms you are sending clients to in tasks, as well as any motion.io forms that you've embedded into pages of your clients' portals. So two different ways to use this. But for today, what I'm going to be showing you is how you can take a form submission and zap it over to a spreadsheet in motion.io. So I'm going to select my account here. Which one is it? Oh my gosh, I have so many test accounts in here. Cool. So that's connected. And then I'm going to choose a form here. Let me choose, I think, what should I use for this? I want to do something just simple that I can show you. So I've selected the form submission trigger. I've selected the form that I want to send to a spreadsheet. And let's go ahead and test this. And sweep, we got a record that's been pulled in. Then what I'm going to do next to send this information over to a spreadsheet is I'll go to Google Sheets here and I will choose this. Let me see here. I think it's the create row. Yep. I'll use the create row action. And then what I will have to do really quickly to get this to work the way that I wanted to is I will have to create a new Google Sheet here. And just to show you what I'm doing, I want to be able to map the information in this test submission to a Google Sheet. So I'm just going to do sort of just a quick version of this, so I'm not boring you with the in-depth setup. But I'm going to do this, and I'm going to pull in task name, client name, and client email. And actually, I'll do the description as well. So now that I've set up this sheet, I'm going to select my account here. And then on the configure tab of my create spreadsheet row Google Drive action, I'm going to choose this spreadsheet that I just created, which is this request form. And what I will do is click continue. And after I've selected my specific spreadsheet, what I can do is I can map the information from this form submission. So I have the task name. I'll search for that, map this to the task name column, the description. And I think this is called details. Yep, details. And then we have the client name. And then the client email. So I'll click continue, and I'll test this to show you how this works. And what I can see is perfect. This Zap that I set up, basically whenever the form that I selected is submitted, it will automatically populate the information that I selected in my corresponding Google Sheet. So a very quick way to set this up. And just to quickly show you the form that I use, because I think that this is helpful context here, is for this Zapier that I showed you how to set up, I took this work request form, and this is what I mapped over to that spreadsheet. And this is a form that I'm using right now in one of my projects to embed into a tab of the client's portal to submit requests for additional work. And this is one of the ways that you can use forms in Motion.io is you can embed a form directly in a page of your client's portal, which I've done here. And what this will do is when the client submits it, it'll create a task in Motion.io. And then also, thanks to the additional layer of this Zapier integration I set up, it'll also send that information over to a spreadsheet. So we use a spreadsheet in this case, but another way you could use a similar integration as this is to send things to another project management tool, send things to your CRM, basically any other database you might want to use. Oh, and love to hear. I'm glad that that was the example that I chose there, Franklin, because this new sort of add-on request feature that we have in Motion.io, we call it client requests. It has been a real game changer for a lot of our users. And it was something that we released. It was not released like quietly or anything, but it took people a little while to figure out the use cases, how they wanted to implement it into Motion.io. I actually just put out a great YouTube video on how to use exactly what I just showed you, our forms in portal tabs and what we call as our client requests functionality. Let me go ahead and I'm going to grab that video for you and share it in the chat here. Just so you have this information. Here it is. Here's that video. Let me go ahead and paste it in the chat for us. So here's that video. And we had a comment from Evangelist come in. I just subbed. I love creative providers that are not scared to put a face to tech. Sam, I wish you luck to you and your team at Motion. Good luck. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you for subscribing. Really appreciate that. Also, if anybody's watching this on YouTube and you're not subscribed, definitely encourage you to do so. It is a really great way to stay up to date with newest features, newest functionalities, the things that we're doing in the platform. I also put out a YouTube video. I try to do it every single week in addition to live stream. This week, with the short week, because it was Labor Day on Monday, my son, his daycare was closed, so I was not working. Didn't have time to put out a video this week, but you should expect one next week. My goal, like I said, is one new video every week. Also do one live stream every week as kind of a personal goal that I put out for myself. So it's been fun. It's been really paying off. And there's no other way I'd rather be spending my time than showing you all how to use our platform, answering questions, and helping out any way that I possibly can to make sure you get value from this platform that we have put our blood, sweat, and tears into the last 3 years. And really happy to see how it's coming. So with that, I believe we've answered all of the questions. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in today. I mentioned it before, but I love getting questions like this. It just makes it so fun for me. But I do have a couple of other features to show off here today, which I think would be cool to just give you some inside scoop on. I know we have a couple of newer folks joining us here today. So I do want to show off Motion.io's CSV import functionality, because this is something that we improved earlier in the month. And I want to show you how to use it in case you have a large amount of clients or projects you're trying to pull into Motion.io. CSV imports make that super duper easy. So I'm going to pop back here into my Motion.io account and show you how to do a CSV import. So the way that you would use CSV imports, the way that I suggest using them is when it's going to be typically when you are first getting up and going in Motion.io, and you have a bunch of clients, a bunch of projects you need to migrate over to us. So if I click this create project button, I can use it to create a project from a template. But let's say I don't want to create just one project. I have 50, 60, 100 clients that I want to import into the platform here. I can click this drop down arrow and select import CSV. We provide a template here that allows you to set up your CSV file the exact way it needs to be structured in order to get populated in Motion.io correctly. I'm sure that if some of you are familiar with doing a CSV import in something like an email automation tool or a CRM, you're already probably aware, but they do, whenever you're doing a CSV import, it typically is going to require a little bit of structure. So we have this template set up for you that, what you can do here is basically just make a copy of this. Delete the first couple of rows and then put your data in there. I've already downloaded a CSV file to show you how this works, but I will go ahead and click this upload CSV button. And I'll just click that again because I realized I was sharing the wrong tab there. And I'll drag my file in and then click upload. Give it a couple seconds. I think our internet's being a little bit slow here in the office today. And cool, there it goes. So with our CSV import functionality, and just once again showing you how to do that, you just go to the project dashboard, click import, drag your file in. We've made a lot of improvements to this so that now if you are doing big imports, 100, 200 projects at a time, it's going to operate a lot more smoothly for you. But I did want to just show you the full process there real quick, because it's a really great way to get information into the platform, especially if you're new. I see we have a couple of other questions here. Off the wall question. I want to place a link in my Go High Level CRM system so clients can log into Motion. White labeled is the magic link, static for me to link to. So that's a great question here, Greg. What you can do within Motion.io. So if you are in your account, let me just go back in here. We do provide a static link for you. The way that Motion.io works by default is via magic links, and those are valid for security reasons. They only stay valid for 14 days, but you do have a evergreen link, if you will, that you could include in your emails, certainly that are being sent from Go High Level. So the way that you access that is you just go to your settings tab, and on the branding tab, you can copy this client portal link and include that in your emails. If you've upgraded to a white label domain, this wouldn't say app.motion.io or anything like that. This would just be, for example, if your business name was Moxie, this would be portal.moxie.com instead of using a motion.io domain. So this can be completely white labeled. Another thing to point out here, Greg, that I think would be especially helpful to you is we have a number of customers who are integrating us with Go High Level already. We are actually attending the High Level conference here in just about a month or so. So we're big fans of that platform. We know a lot of our customers are using them, and it's a really great way to use Motion.io because Go High Level can kind of take care of all of your pre-sales CRM stuff. And then once a deal is closed, once a client is ready to sign, you can automatically send them over to Go High Level using a pretty slick little automation here. I just put out a YouTube video, 2 or 3 weeks ago about this. You can use Go High Level's built-in webhook functionality to basically send client information over to Motion.io, kick off a project, launch things seamlessly. If you didn't want to set up that integration, though, you could absolutely just include this client portal link that I shared with you. You could include that in your emails to the client. So whichever way you want to do it is totally up to you. And great question, by the way. Yeah, and cool. Please do. Please email me, Greg. It's just sam@motion.io. And I'll make sure that you get subscribed to updates. It can be the perfect solution in addition to GHL for project management. So we have another question come in here from Evangelos. Sam, I provide email hosting services. We use Montic Emailer on clients' websites. Is there an option to integrate with Montic? We do have an API. So I don't know at the moment. This is something I would probably need a little bit more details here, Evangelos. I'll give you the same offer I offered to Greg. Please feel free to email me. I think it would be helpful to understand just a couple of additional things like what are you hoping to accomplish through that? What are like the key pieces of data you would need to be sending? If you could just plug that in an email, I'll make sure to respond to that by the end of the day or whenever I get it to you. I'll respond within 24 hours. So once again, email is just sam@motion.io if you want to send that information my way, but certainly happy to answer any additional questions. Some of this stuff is just can be a little bit too much of like information that I need live to fully get into it. So with that, I want to show off a couple of more features to close things out here. One of the ones I wanted to show you was our new AI stage builder, because this is a really quick and fast way to be able to publish updates to a project or a project template in Motion.io. And let me just go ahead and find I have a template here that I'm searching for. And actually, let me just show you in real time here. So back in my Motion.io account, the way that I get into our AI stage builder is I'm going to pop into a project template here. And let's just do this example template. So I'll create a new stage here in my template. I'll just call it design. And then once I create that stage and save it, you'll see that I have this wand option, and this is going to allow me to build out stage tasks using AI. So to just write a quick prompt for this, I am creating a stage for designing new advertising assets for a client. I need tasks to create the designs, team tasks, and clients to review and approve the designs. So what I did here with this prompt is I briefly explained the stage I want to create. And then I said that, hey, this has to be a mix of team tasks and client tasks. I know we have a couple of people new to our platform here today watching. One of the great things about Motion.io is we do give you the ability to create both client-facing tasks as well as internal team tasks. And those internal team tasks, they can be hidden or shown to your clients in their portal. That part's up to you. But it is a really nice way to centralize all of your project management work in Motion.io. And with that, you'll see that the AI has done its work and created a few different tasks for me. So there is a design brief here that the client has to fill out. Motion.io's AI actually created this form and attached it automatically. I didn't have to do anything here. This wasn't a form that I had before. So pretty cool there. There is a task for the client to upload design inspirations. This task the AI created used our file upload or file request task option, did that all automatically, as well as writing the descriptions. And then there's team tasks for us to collaborate on the mockups, and then a final client task to review and approve the design concepts we send them. If the AI creates you a file feedback and approval task, one thing to point out there is that it's just going to use a placeholder until you update or upload the actual images you want to send the client. But regardless, is a really nice way to do things, move faster in Motion.io, and not have to create this kind of stuff yourself. And we have another question. Did the form save to your tabs as well? Did the form save to your forms tab as well? Yeah, so that does. And that's a really good question there. So if the AI does create a form for you, so it's submit design brief, you will notice if I pop back into my forms tab, great, that form is there as well. So if I wanted to edit this later on down the road, I could do so, add some additional fields here if I wanted. Whenever the AI does create a form for you, that will go into the forms tab. You can manage that, change it as you'd like in the future. Another thing too, while I'm in the forms tab here to point out, is we also have this AI form builder. If you don't want to use if you don't want to build a full project stage, you just want to build a form, on the forms tab, we have our AI form builder as well. And then a couple of other things to point out about this page of your account is that you can bulk download submissions from forms if you'd like as a CSV. When you hover over a form and click the download and hover over the download icon, it'll show you how many times that form has been submitted, as well as giving you the option to download it. So pretty cool functionality there. I have a question from Greg here. My clients have clients of their own. My clients will have projects for their clients and use Motion. Does Motion white label billing to pass through me as the agency? So we do not have, and I think that maybe the inspiration from this, Greg, is coming from Go High Level. So we don't have a reseller model like they do. We do have an affiliate program I'd be happy to share you more about. But if they were going to sign up for an account, the account would be billed to them directly. So at the moment, we are considering maybe down the road doing a reseller model like Go High Level. Not an immediate priority or something that we're going to do even in the next couple of months, but it is something we're thinking about, we're paying attention to. But at the moment, yeah, your clients would need to sign up for their own account. You could, of course, become an affiliate and give them a discount and get a kickback for it, but billing would be directly through them, like to their business bank account or credit card. So thanks for asking. And like I said, happy to share you more information about that. So there's just really one big thing that I wanted to kind of wrap us up here today with showing off. Please, we got about 10 minutes left as well. If you want to chime in with your questions, I will be happy to answer those in our last 10 minutes. But one of the things I wanted to show you new to Motion.io, a highly, highly requested feature, is the ability to set a custom signing order for contracts. If you've been using Motion.io for a while now, you'll know that previously clients were required to sign contracts first. But with this month's update, that has all changed. And if you have contracts that you've created in Motion.io already, which you can do so by just clicking the Create Contract button, dragging in your contract PDF, and then mapping the fields like you might with something like DocuSign. And that's what I'm showing you here. If you've set up contracts already, you'll notice you now have an additional field here that says signing order. And once you enable signing order, you are able to drag the order you want people to sign a specific contract, adjust those. And so that the person at the top of the list, that assignee, they're going to sign first in this case. But if I drag the team member to the top, the team member would be required to sign the contract first. And this will apply regardless of how many signing roles you have. So I just have 2 here, but if I had 3, 4, 5, 6, I could reorder them in a similar fashion. So that was something I wanted to make sure to show off here before we log off for the day. So with that, that really does it for all of the big updates. There's a bunch more things that we've released over the course of this month. If you want to, get a more granular view of the updates that we've made, I would direct you to the changelog page on our Motion.io website, which I'll just shared a link to. And then, we also had a question, will the video be available for the contract section? So I don't have a video for the signing order of contracts, but we do have that information in our help desk. It's just not in a video form. But if you go to help.motion.io, which I will paste a link for in the chat, this is our Motion.io knowledge base. And on that, you are going to be able to find helpful tips, insights, a bunch more stuff for getting the most out of Motion.io, detailed setup guides, things like that. So I would just go to that link that I shared and type in contracts. Should have all of the information you need. And then as well, one thing that's important to point out is I put all of these videos up. They actually there's an automated process that handles it for me. But as soon as I end the live stream, all of our streams go right to YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook as recordings. So at any time you can go back, rewatch this session as well. But great question there. So with that, everybody, this has been a blast. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Thanks for all of the great questions today. There were some really cool ones. We talked about Zapier, sending form data elsewhere, talked about a couple of other integration type things. So it was really fun for me. So as a reminder, I do these live streams every single Friday, 10:30 a.m. Mountain Time. And I look forward to seeing you all next week. If you have any questions in the meantime, don't hesitate to email me directly. My name is Sam Chabowski. Email is just sam@motion.io. And also feel free to connect with me directly on LinkedIn. I would love to stay connected. I connect with basically all of our users, all of our customers on there. And I'll include a link to that as well here. So thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in. This has been a blast, and I hope you all have a great rest of your Friday, a great weekend, and I wish the best of success to you and your business. Take care, everybody. See you next week.